All right. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope your week's going okay. Um, Hello, Missy. Hello, Johnny. Johnny's got a big haul he's going to talk about. Yeah. So let's get to building. Today's build is the Kingfisher, the bird. So somebody at the Lego store, one of our lug members commented on the fact that this plus the ornithopter is a very ornithological purchase. By name, yes, but I feel the ornithopter is more of a dragonfly. So I don't know if that means, I don't know what the study of bugs is. It's not etymology, it's entomology, right? Study of bugs. Anyway, about 20 pounds of Lego for $100. Nice. 20 pounds. That's not bad, yeah. Including almost complete Black Sea Barracuda. Wow. Parts of another King's Castle for a United Viking ship. Ooh. That sounds like a win. Good job. Figures included. Did you get some figures in that? So, Lego-wise, things are going on. I will say that I have no... Oh, this is going to be a super quick build. Yeah, this is how many pieces? 840 pieces. I may have to bust open another set to fill some time. We'll have to see. Here's your instruction booklet. Again, plastic bags. Not sure why we still have plastic bags. So I was able to offload all my... Hey, Frankie! I was able to offload some of the things I was selling to the new shop up the road. Didn't get as much as I wanted, but to be fair, it was all stuff that had been displayed for years and it collected dust, and some of the pieces were yellowed. So, I mean, I got some, but it wasn't really even close to what I wanted. Was nowhere near close to Bricklink value, was nowhere near close to, and I probably should have taken store credit, but the only thing I really wanted was a Venator. They did have a UCS Y-Wing, and I was like, I could get that, but the whole point was to, like, put some in savings so I could, you know, pay some bills, but also, like, get the Venator later. So, Frankie in the chat, how's it going? So it was all the cars, all those creator cars. The 4 remaining... And I apologize, I'm still very stuffy. Allergies have just been terrible lately. Like, the past week has been like low-grade headache, constant stuffiness. I feel like I'm snoring in the middle of the night because everything's draining. Missy and Frankie know what's up. Coliseum, sold the Coliseum. And probably would have got more for it had they not just had the store not just bought a brand new Unbox Coliseum. I'm like, oh. So that was bad timing on my part. Anyway, so I got rid of it. It's fine. Whatever. Looking through lug bulk, good. We've got about a week till we have to start doing that. So lug bulk started for those in your lugs. Johnny, I don't know if your lug does lug bulk, but it has started. And there's been a little controversy on the LAN about it, and I feel like I can talk about it because nobody watches my channel. Oh, you are participating. Good. So, usually for the past, I would say, I mean, I haven't been involved in it for the past maybe just a couple of years, but for the past few years that I've participated in it, lug bulk has usually been, we would get some sort of list at the end of the year, round about the end of the year. And then round about the first part of the year, the land would say, here's the official list, and ordering is now open. We're like, sweet. So, looking for Hoth pieces. Nice. So this year was a little different because over the summer last year, the person in charge of the, it's called the AFOL engagement, AFOLET. It's the AFOL engagement team, which I find a neat acronym, AFOLET, because it's an acronym nested in another acronym. They had left over the summer, and nobody has come in to replace them. So there's been a little bit of a couple of people are kind of filling in here and there to make sure things get done. And that kind of stuff falls to like the project support, lug bulk, AFOL days, anything that's kind of a program that lugs participate in. That's what they do. So they haven't been replaced yet. So lug bulk rolls around, and all the ambassadors are on the forum. And they're like, all right, well, we know that it's, what's up, Mayo? We know that it is a, oh, no alcoholic beverage tonight. I didn't have any, didn't buy any. I have one blueberry sour left in the fridge, but that's Beth's, and I'm not a big fan of sours anymore. So, we're all chomping at the bit. We're all waiting for the list to be released. We've all been kind of going, well, here's what it was last year, and here's a list we can kind of start. And the problem is with using last year's list is everybody gets excited about some pieces, and they may not be on the actual list, right? And by list, I mean there's a website that we order from, but there's also an Excel spreadsheet where people can go through and look for the pieces they want. So what we do is like our lug, we have a committee of 5 people, and we've got one guy who does really well with spreadsheets. So he gets the list, the official list, and makes it all pretty, puts some rules in front of it, like a big splash page on what to do. Then we all go through the steps of nominating the pieces we want, making personal picks, all this kind of stuff. So we get up to kind of the magic number that we need to get to order. Well, it was the list was a little late in coming out, and we were all kind of like, we were all kind of fine with it because we're like, all right, well, it's they had a holiday that they were off, and we realized that they're down a person, and yeah, so I mean, our spreadsheet's like, here's your 5 sections. Nominate 5 pieces, and it updates like and then you go to Bricklink and find the Bricklink price and see if there's a marked difference, and if there's not, it's probably not worth getting. And then once that's all done, the committee will take a look at all those and kind of weed them out till we get down to 85 pieces. So those are the nominated common pieces, and then everybody gets 2 picks for a personal pick, which means they just order it no matter what, right? So that gets us up to 85 total. So while we've been waiting for this to come out, we haven't heard from like the AFOLET team at all. I feel like I'm missing. I'm not. So I've kind of been chilling and waiting for stuff to happen, and then like last Friday, we get a message from the person who runs the lug bulk website that says ordering is now open. Deadline is March 22nd. And we're like, oh, okay. So then we all run back to the forum, and we're like, all right, well, we just got word that the site's open. Do we have a list yet? And there's no response from the AFOLET team whatsoever. So it goes over the weekend into Monday, into Tuesday. Sometime on Monday, somebody had scraped the site and used that information to create a spreadsheet that then they push out to the rest of the LAN and say, here's a spreadsheet. And everybody goes, thank you. And then everybody else kind of chimes in with, well, we've added this to it and we've added this to it and we keep updating it. And so finally now everybody just kind of has one they're going to take and do whatever they need to. The website doesn't use a spreadsheet. Actually, it does this year. It has a quick order thing, which is great. I don't have to be up at midnight for an hour and a half ordering a bunch of different things. But we're waiting for like an official list. Well, we tag the AFOLET team and we do all this stuff. So then like Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Or was it this morning? I think maybe it was this morning. No, it had to be yesterday. After everyone's like, can we get the list? Can we get the list? Is this the official one? Or are we waiting for anything? What's the word? Blah, blah, blah. And finally, one of the people in the AFOLET team goes, I don't understand the big issue. The list was posted X day ago or whatever. And we're all kind of like, no, it wasn't. And then they link to this other part of the forum, which nobody looks at. The LAN forum is just a mess. It's just a kind of a cluster. But they're like, yeah, it was updated on this day, which was earlier that morning. And then they posted 3 hours later saying, I don't understand what the big deal was. The list was posted. And so everyone's like, fine, whatever. So I posted and they're like, all right, so just so you know, and this is me talking to basically the head engagement team person at the LAN. I was like, just so you know, from our perspective, here's how it went down. Time frame. I'm like, in the past, we usually got these roughly at the same time. We also tagged everyone in the AFOLET team all weekend. Now, I know that this is y'all's job, and it's like, when you check out, you check out. That's fine. But this is why all weekend we were like, what's going on? I mean, it's all sorted. It's fine. But I mean, I felt like the person who was trying to like get away with something. They're like, no, it's been there the whole time. It's like, no, it hasn't. And stop trying to fly under the radar with this. So I posted that, and then I went on the Discord where there's some other ambassadors, and I texted a couple people from MyLug that we text every once in a while. And I'm like, well, it was nice knowing you. I think I probably am going to get myself canned from the group. So drama, but kind of made up drama. It's not real drama. Real drama is when I go back to university, I'm going to try to edit instructions for Mox on Studio. Cool. Have fun. One of my favorite things to do. Speaking of actual drama in the LEGO world, there was another... Did I miss a step here? Yes. There was another leak, which has now been released by LEGO, so I can talk about it. For the... There you go. Leading into this topic of conversation. Now, I don't have information about who is the good leaker. I feel like I'm on social media all day. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Threads. I'm on TikTok. I'm not on Twitter anymore, or X. But I feel like I'm constantly like, I know people who know a lot more about Lego than I do. Most people do. It just seems weird because I'm like, where am I missing all this? Because I feel like I'm around it all day, but I just can't. I seem to be behind. Anyway, the times 2. Dang it. So there was a leak of the medieval village like 2-3 days ago. I got canned from a group because someone got triggered. Well, okay. There's got to be more to that story, but will side with you. We had someone leave our group because they felt they were attacked by people, and I don't believe that was the case at all. So I mean, it's really hard to say from one perspective to the next what actually happens. So the medieval village got leaked. It went all over the land, and I apparently missed the post because I was too worried about lug bulk, which I feel is a little more important. But I'm also not a fan media person who relies on accurate reporting and stuff run by Lego. So it all came out and again leaked, and someone said that there was very good photos, which means it was probably somebody internal. It's not like a retailer got it off like a shipping list or something. They're like, no, this is a real good photo of whatever this is. So like, whoops. And it's not even a set. I don't even know if I'm going to get it. I might. The problem I have with the medieval blacksmith set is great. But my issue is that I really enjoyed the medieval stuff that came out like, God, when did it come out? Like, it's like 2011. They had a slew of medieval stuff come out, and those are all great. And I feel like they kind of let them drop off, and then they're coming back. And I almost feel like saying, I think you've done a medieval village before. So I feel like there's more to it. Like you've done a blacksmith, maybe have a mill, maybe have a stable, maybe have a jousting arena, maybe have like a tanner or something else that's like of that era. Just go village, and it's like, okay, well, what part of the village? I feel like they could do a lot more work with it, but that's just me. Times 4 with this, all right. So speaking to Mayo's interest, I know this weekend coming up is a large sporting event of some sort involving a pop star. I think there's a pop star involved somewhere. I love all the videos about the math that everybody has to do to figure out if she's going to be back in time for the game from her show. And I love the conspiracies that after the Chiefs win, she's going to come out into the field and announce that she supports Biden for president, or she endorses Biden. And I'm like, that's the theory? Oh my God. Y'all need a hobby. Yeah, I don't even care. Like, I'm not going to watch the game. I kind of forgot that the game was happening because this weekend we've got our International Lego Day festivity is on Sunday from 12 to 3. The day before is we're doing a sort for, I think, Brick Rodeo. And then the following weekend is a meeting we're having. There's like one other event. I can't remember what it is now. They should all be on my calendar. I think that's just a Brick Rodeo Wrangler meeting. Oh, 2 weekends worth of Brick Rodeo sorting. So I don't know how many I'm going to go to, but I'm going to a lunch with friends for Lunar New Year's. Nice. Is that what you're doing tomorrow? Is Lunar New Year tomorrow? I know Mardi Gras started too. So we all got that going for us. People are hunting for king cake around here. And I'm always telling them, go to Quack's. I think Quack still does king cake. I'm just going to get one from HEB and be done with it. They're fine. I'm more in it for the symbolism and less about the, like, oh, if you want real king cake. I'm not a real Cajun. Saturday's Lunar New Year. Cool. They do something for that. All right, so we're making the water and the stand and everything right now. Your boys from Louisiana are going to Mardi Gras. Laissez le bon temps rouler. Mon cher. Me and my excellent command of the French language. And I still can't spell Swearday, Sauterday. It is on this day that we join two metals together, one hot, one cool. So for a while I dated a Cajun, and there was a lot of, we were in Louisiana a lot. We weren't in like New Orleans either. We were in like Bayou country. And so there's still a lot of stuff that I like about the area, but it is a bit much. The food's really good. Most of the time the people were nice. But it's still kind of like, ooh, don't rush to get down here, basically. I was watching an Irish comedian talk about, he's like, he mentioned being from Ireland, in a certain area of Ireland, Cork, or outside of Cork. And I think most people in Ireland are either from like Dublin or Cork, right? Kind of the bigger areas. I almost said Belfast, and then I would have been shot. So this is the cool pearlescent, I call it, but it's not. It's that satin color. It's pretty nice. Lego calls it opal. Bricklink calls it satin, just so you know. It's going somewhere with this. What do I have planned for Mardi Gras? What's the date of Mardi Gras? It's the Tuesday before Lent. Fat Tuesday. February 13th. So February 13th is a Tuesday. I don't really have anything set for Tuesday. I don't generally do anything for the stream. I might see if Beth wants to go out to dinner, or maybe our friends go out to dinner. We'll see. It really depends on what else is going on. What about you? What do you guys have planned? Hi, Greg. And hello, Multigasm Geek. How are you guys doing? Thanks for being here. Yeah, I don't have anything stream-wise planned, so probably won't see me, but I'll see if Beth wants to do something. Being failed Catholic and her being failed Methodist, I feel like Mardi Gras now is just an excuse, because we're also not Cajun. I have got like vinegar lip going on, so I made some rice tonight for dinner, and usually I'll put a dollop of rice vinegar in the rice when I'm making it, to make it, speaking of Cajun food, to make it a little more sticky. And I think I may have put too much in, because feels like it's on my lip. It's like when you get garlic lip from eating pizza, you're like, ugh, it's just stuck to my face. Got new AirPods today. Cool. Gonna go to the store and get some case for it. Doing well. Sydney in Australia is always Mardi Gras parade. Only city that does it. I think Austin has a Mardi Gras parade. And we've got several Cajun restaurants and Louisiana-style restaurants around town, and I'm sure they'll be doing something. It may not be like a big... I don't think there's a big parade or anything, but I don't know, maybe. I've got quite a few friends who are from the area. Nope. There's a guy in our group, the guy who actually does TechSlug's Instagram account. He is. Uh-oh. That's Houston. Hey, there's a missing person in Houston. There's a missing kid in Houston. Greg, get on that. That's not how that goes at all. Oh, that is how that goes. Okay. Yeah, we got friends who are originally from like Shreveport, friends from Baton Rouge, some people outside of New Orleans, some people kind of along the coast. Yeah. You're from Beaumont, right? You live along the Texas. I thought we were talking about you being from Beaumont. Because I think you asked, have you ever been to Beaumont? And I had to say, yes, I've been through Beaumont. 5. This is 5. I got these wrong. This doesn't look right. 1, 2. 1. Oh, something is wrong. That one. Why is that one not being put in there? Oh, you live in Orange. Ooh. Is that the one that had the billboard about being black? Or is that Viter? I am so confused by this. There. Okay. That's... I don't know why my brain was breaking off that one. Oh, and then it goes, here's more. 2, 3, 4. These stripes of solid bricks are just hard to see. And I don't know why they're doing 4 instead of 1x8s, but it's just me. That's Viter, yeah. So yeah. I have not started my monthly build for maybe that's what I'll do if I don't knock this out tonight. Maybe this Sunday I'll work on a mock, and I don't know how. I guess I can turn the cameras around and light that area a little bit so it's easier to see, but I'll just be walking back and forth to where all my parts are. Might work out okay. I feel like I need another light over here somewhere because the rest of this room is just very, very dark. You finish your education in Port Neches. Port Neches Groves. Got it. Yeah, the only thing I did in that area was drive through it to get to from either Houston or here in Austin to New Orleans or Louisiana. So we'd always go to, there's a little town south of Lafayette called Abbeville. That's where we would go. And also to Lafayette. There's some good things to do there too. College town, some good restaurants. They also did the Festival International, which is like a Francophone style music festival. And they have like 4 or 5 kind of main stages, 3 or 4 main stages and a bunch of smaller little stages. And it's kind of like a South by Southwest, but with French music. And it was a lot of fun. Walk around and just get drinks and food and listen to some music. We would go volunteer just like you do at most festivals, so you don't have to pay to get in. But then you'd end up, you had to move a sign once in a while. but that's worth it. I work at the travel center here, the big metal star. Oh, like as you cross the border, you work on that place. That's pretty cool. All right, 18. I'm going to do this so I don't lose track. So here's some cool pieces. These are the ceiling tiles from the Japanese temple set, the Hijemi temple. These are clear, so that's really cool. That's some good pieces. You work near the sign that says like El Paso, 853 miles or whatever it is. How many? 18. 5, 10. I always like that sign. It's such a flex. There's no reason for it. Nobody's... If you know you're driving from Louisiana to El Paso and points beyond, you know it's a drive. You don't need to be reminded. I just think that's hilarious. Okay, 18. And 2. Might see me if you come through. Welcome to Texas. I don't know when we're going to go to New Orleans next, but it might be soon. I think Beth wants to do that for her next birthday. She wants to go out to New Orleans. So that may be soon. Maybe not this year. I think she said 45th birthday, which will be next year. But yeah, because we both like going to New Orleans. Last time we had a blast. We went on a haunted pub crawl with this. Our pub crawl leader was this punk kid. Literally looked like he was in a punk band and also a theater troupe. And he was pretty magical. I said 18. That's not 18 pieces, unless I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, maybe I was overcounted. He looked like a theater punk kind of dude, and he'd take us to a place and say, all right, here's where this, and it was always a little girl, here's where this little girl died, and here's what and he'd tell us a story about the location, and then here's what I suggest you drink from this bar, and then he'd go sit in the corner on his phone and be like, it gave us like a half hour or whatever, and then be like, all right, next place. And the whole thing took a couple hours because we went to like 3 or 4, not that few, 4 or 5 places, and they were all off bourbon, which was great. I went to move to get out of the hurricane and humidity. Might I suggest Denver? If you can afford it. It is very expensive to live in Colorado, but you trade hurricane and humidity for snow, but it's also very sunny. So 3, 1. So yeah, the tour was off Bourbon Street and had some really cool places. It was always a little dead girl that was murdered because her mom was a prostitute or something, a sex worker, and but yeah, it was a lot of fun. This was only 3. Okay. Good. Kansas City or West Texas? Not like the city of West, Texas, but West Texas like Midland, Odessa, West Texas, El Paso, West Texas. 4 of these. I mean, that's dry out there. It's desert and nothing else. Probably get a job in a, if they still do refinery work out there. Probably get a job, oil rig. Be a roughneck. All right, well, those make good splashy bits in there. You don't get humid wind here. West Texas, both. Someone was asking about setting up on our Facebook page about setting up a West Texas lug. They're like it because they're in El Paso, and this is not the first time I've heard somebody ask about it. But they're like, is there a lug out here in El Paso? And we're like, no. If you want to start one, you should start one. That would be really great. Okay, let's see if I can keep this straight. And 4 of these. This step is grinding the building to a halt because there's like a million little pieces here. But yeah, so my ex-kid's mom used to live in, or is from Odessa. So I have been once, maybe twice, for family stuff. Not my ideal place to go, but you know. San Angelo, Texas is pretty nice. It's small, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere as well, but it's pretty nice. Feel like I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why am I counting so bad today? The basis seems like a bloated piece count. Yeah, well, this is the same as the insects. It's like they really want their piece count up a little bit for the, I almost said for the lulls, but I mean, you know, just to get the cost up a little bit. And everyone's like, well, we just want the bird. Can you just put on a placard like the other one and just have a little sign that says Kingfisher on it? That's really all we care about. But, you know, no, make it, you know, I can't wait to build cattails, but at the same time, I'm like, we don't really need all those. My uncle lived in West Texas town for a few years. So isn't that where the kolache good kolache place is? I forget the name of it, but that's where you go to get good kolaches. And for those watching who don't know what a kolache is, it's basically a pastry. And I know I'm going to catch heck for that, but it's basically a Danish. It's a Danish. But there's a different way to make the bread that is the part of the Danish. And there's also different types of kolaches. You can get sweet kolaches, and they're called something different, but everyone just calls them kolaches. There's like buns with like egg and vegetables in them, or bacon and stuff. And then there's basically pigs in a blanket. They're called something else. There's Czech names for all those. But yeah, the place to get kolaches is that there's 2 shops right across the highway from each other in West Texas. West, Texas. 6. And I've been to both of them, once because I wanted to go, once because not because my car broke down. Because I was driving and I was exhausted. And I slept in my car, and the next morning got some kolaches. My friend Papa's Bricks lives in West Texas. Nice. Oh yeah, I know Papa's. They have a channel. I haven't seen them do a whole lot recently. kolaches. I think, in fact, tomorrow I'm going to go get some kolaches. I'm going to go to Lone Star Kolaches and pick up a couple kolaches tomorrow morning. Because it's Friday. And I try to treat myself on Friday. So in case this set doesn't get left up on the shelf for a long time, this would be a great set to get a lot of these satin parts, these opal parts, and then these scalloped roof tiles. I may look for some of these scalloped roof tiles on Lug Bulk. I don't know. Frankie, if you're still on, did you get your picks yet? Missy, are you doing Lug Bulk this year? I forgot if I can't remember if I saw your name on the list or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is 8. And then 2 of these. You are cool. Oh, that's right. I think I remember the part. I was looking through everybody's parts today. Because I was trying to get some inspiration, because I picked a few of my parts, but they feel kind of pedestrian. I picked a light green frog. I picked a 2x2 round inverted tile, which I thought was really great. One of the kind of cool plant leaves, the fern leaves, that is like a single thing, and then it kind of curves out like this. Can't remember what else. And then for no real reason, I got like it's a 1x2. They used to make these more, but it's a 1x4 by 1 2/3 brick, but it's a snot brick. So it's got stuff on the top and stuff on the sides. And they used to make them a lot more, but they haven't for a while. So I thought about getting a bunch of them because those would be great for. They're great for ships, but they're also great for like building the internals of stuff. Big things like if you're going to do a rocket, you could have, you do a lot of snot building. Vab should get one. Oh my God, 12 of these. 3, 4, 5. But I might go back and repick that because it's only like, I think the comparison was like 60% savings, or 60% better than Bricklink. So I'm like, oh, that may not be worth it. But a couple of those are like 90% better. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What is my favorite flavor of Bluebell? I haven't had Bluebell in forever. We used to get Bluebell all the time. When we lived in Houston, when we first moved out, we just don't do ice cream a whole lot anymore. And when we do, I get dairy-free Ben & Jerry's because I'm old. But let's see. Generally, I'm a fan of mint chocolate chip, and I think Bluebell's was pretty good. Bluebell also had like a really solid, probably still does, a really solid vanilla. I remember their vanilla being just like really, really good, like kind of classic flavored. Really kind of sharp. Not just like bland vanilla, but like really, really good home style vanilla kind of thing. In fact, I think we had some here for a bit. We had a friend come over and bring. He made some spiced apples for an event we had, and turn around. He brought some ice cream to go with it, and it lasted us a little bit because he left it here. Peanut tree allergy, so just stick with vanilla or chocolate chip cookie dough. That's fair. So no pistachio for you, huh? That's unfortunate because pistachio is the goat. Pistachio ice cream is really good. Pistachio pudding is even better. Oh my God, 12. 10. There's an extra one that I'm worried I missed somewhere, but we'll find out, won't we? Lego Bear, how's it going? Speaking of places in Texas, I'm assuming you're in the San Antonio area, maybe? By the name? And if you've been here before and I don't recognize you, I'm very sorry. 4 along the side. Yes. I don't know if I relayed this story at one point, but I was listening to a podcast about and I don't remember what it was about. It was like a history podcast. It was like 10-minute long bits about like Texas history. And you want to go to the Las Vegas Sphere. Did you guys see about that? I'm gonna get distracted. The guy climbing the sphere. His name was like Pro-Life Spider-Man or something. I'm like, oh. What they should have done is turned it on so it was the big eyeball and just watched him climb up all the way. We've been out of the community for about 8 months, hibernation. I feel ya. So listening to a podcast about Texas history, and I don't remember if they were actually Texans or what, but I just picked it up because I was like, okay, this would be pretty cool to listen to. And one of the first ones they did was about Bexar County, and I went, "Oof, you guys, you're gonna catch some hate mail here in a little bit." And sure enough, they're like, "Okay, well, their next episode is like, we would like to apologize for mispronouncing the county." To be fair, it took me a while. The only reason I really know is because I work with work in a medical group that we have county medical societies. So I hear their names all the time, and I think I just heard them say it once at an event or something. Well, that makes sense. So welcome. What are you working on right now? You're out of hibernation. You doing anything fun with it? Building anything cool? Get any neat sets lately? Yeah, I feel like I'm missing something. Because I've got an extra one of these, and that's not a good sign. But there were a lot of these, so I don't know if that means anything. It looks good. It looks fine. Don't think I'm missing anything. I don't know. Oh, you just moved. Nice. Looking forward to the new Speed Champions. That's great. I'm not a Speed Champion person myself, but I have looked at the sets and they look great. I still haven't gotten any of the new space sets yet. Kind of holding off on that. I figured those will be around for a while, especially like in grocery stores and things. And I have a feeling that they'll also go on sale. So I'm going to try to wait a little bit and see if I can catch them when they go on sale. So did you move kind of close to where I'm not asking you where you live or anything, but did you move? Was it a close move? Was it a really rough move? Did you move for a job? Did you just get a better place to live? Was moving Lego a pain in the butt for you? I know that it was not fun for me, and we only moved like within the neighborhood. Like I could hand carry stuff, and it'd take me about 10 minutes to get to our new place. I wasn't going to, but I mean, it almost would have been easier than trying to pack everything up. To move, like, it was like a 30-second drive. So I do not envy whatever your situation was. These almost, with the slits, it almost looks like bamboo. I love it. All right, that's what we got so far. I'm concerned about this extra 1x2 that normally doesn't happen. But I thought I was fairly thorough. I don't see anything like awkward. So we'll just assume that is fine. All right, so this is the body of the bird, doing some technic here. Hi, puppies. Trying to remember where Burn is. Now, do you say Burn or Bernie? I think it's Burn, isn't it? Is it nearby? I recognize the name, but in fact, we're just going to look it up. I was saying Boo Earns. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, neat. That actually, I wouldn't mind going there. Kind of hill country-ish up from San Antonio. That's very cool. I've got friends in New Braunfels. I got kids in San Marcos. We're in Pflugerville. Got people I know in Austin. We actually wanted to, we're not going to now, but we wanted to go out to Kerrville. Borny? Say Borny? Never heard it pronounced. Now that you mention it. We were gonna go out and watch you're gonna be in perfect spot for the eclipse. We wanted to go out to Kerrville for the eclipse, but it happens on a Monday. And ain't no way that Beth's going to get off on Monday. So she's just going to have to kind of get her group to go outside and look at the sky while it's happening. I think Austin will be pretty close to totality. So if anybody wanted to do a little field trip, they could do that. It's born, the E is silent. We got one person who lives there. Your kids have the day off for the eclipse? Did they do that specifically because it's the eclipse, or did they just have that day off? Did like the school go, no, that's a school holiday. That's an in-service day or whatever they call it. The teachers need to do some work. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I wish Beth could get it off because we were gonna take like a weekend trip and go out there. Because I hadn't been to Kerrville before, and she said it was kind of nice, but it was also for the festival. That's very cool. I'm really excited about that. That's really awesome. I would not be surprised if we had it off too, but I may just take the day off. I mean, I know Beth doesn't have it off, but I'd be like, so I'll take it off and go sit outside. So that's the weird thing. Like growing up here, it's probably different from when people move in here, like what's pronounced what. Also, this orange is really weird. So we've got dark orange. The instructions make this look like dark orange, right? But this is like a bright orange because then we also have dark orange. So I don't know what to believe. But there's no dark orange plates. So go kick rocks. Bye, Mayo. Have a good lunch. It's like you go to the Pedernales River or whatever, and everyone's like, the what? Or the Pedernales. When I moved here, it was Pedernales, right? Pedernales State Park, Pedernales River, Pedernales Falls. Everyone's like, there's no there's no R in the beginning of that. And everyone's like, yep, that's just how you pronounce it. It's like, okay. But then you find some people who say Pedernales now, and it's different. It's like, they know. Poor shoulder flares. Okay. Is that on one of the speed champions? Also, I missed your comment about a crawfish boil. I would love a crawfish boil. We have a friend who does crawfish boils, and I have not heard from him. I don't think we're doing it this year. He's not been feeling well, so I kind of doubt it. Maybe I should ask him if he wants help. I think everybody would be sad if we didn't get our crawfish boil. When I first moved to Houston, there was a bunch of things in Houston that are hard to figure out how to pronounce. And one was right off 1960 where I lived, and it was called, the road was Kirkendall, which sounds like it'd be fine to pronounce, but the spelling was all over the place. There was a U and a Y, and there was no R in it at all, but everyone said Kirkendall. Okay, well, I don't know how you got to that, but fine. Oh, yeah. These are white, though, right? In the Porsche. I just sold that. These are great pieces. What was the other one that there's the typical Burnett. Like, you can tell who the transplants are because they say Burnett. Then let's see, there's the airport. So Frankie's still on here. The area that's off 51st that used to be the airport before it was Austin Bergstrom moved out there. What is that area called to you? How do you say that? And there's no wrong answer, but somebody will yell at you. I know how I say it, and I get fussed at. Usually by Beth. Sold all my modular buildings from 300 to 500 each. Nice. Glad you got a good amount for it. Did you have the boxes with it? Or just kind of built as is? Really working hard here, but I don't think we're going to get through all of it tonight. We'll see. Oh, with boxes. Very cool. So I don't know if I regaled my story about me ordering the Ornithopter where I pre-ordered it. Because I don't do that. I don't keep the boxes. I don't plan on selling them ever. And I don't use them for investments. No, not Del Valley. No, the area off 51st where there's a Torchy's and an HEB, and it's where like the Dell Children's area is, and there's like a farmer's market and a big housing development and stuff. Anyway, it's spelled Mueller, which is German, right? But do you say Mueller or you say Miller? So when I first moved here, everybody was saying Miller. Nobody said Mueller. But now everybody says Mueller. I'm like, but which is it? Is it Mueller? Is it Miller? And so then you got the people, well, I'm German and I say Miller. Well, I'm German and I say Mueller, you know. So it's one of those you can't really, you know. You say Mueller? You say Muller? That I hadn't heard Muller before. Ooh, look. Brackets in dark blue. And these brackets in this Maersk-y blue kind of thing. Interesting. Um, let's see, catching up. Figured out what to do with the second one. The second what? Figured out what to do with the second one. So selling stuff. I was gonna. So yeah. Greg knows what I'm talking about again. So thank you for getting me back on track. Pre-ordered the ornithopter back in October of last year. Forgot because, you know, there were holidays and drinking and whatever else excuse I can go with. Oh, that's why. And then February 2nd or February 1st came around and I found myself at the Lego store where I bought another one. And I was like, cool, I got the ornithopter. Came home, built it, did a stream about it, a couple streams. And then I got a text from FedEx that was like, hey, we got a delivery for you. I'm like, I didn't order anything. What is this? And it got here and I was like, what? And I looked at my Kmart account. Kmart. Wow. My Target account. And it says, yeah, you've ordered the ornithopter. And I was like, I did what now? And then I remembered and I was like, well, crap. Now I have two of them. So I have two of them. So at some point in the next couple years, I might try to sell one of them, I guess. This is very interesting construction. Also, very cool pieces. I don't know if these are newish, but they're like wedge piece shield slope things. So very cool. So yeah, so now I got two, but I never do. I never buy like two of something just to sell. I think I only did that once before, and it was a Boba Fett's throne room, and I ended up giving that away on a stream contest. And when it got to the person, the box was completely smashed. And the box I shipped it in was smashed, and the inside contents of the box was all bent in half. And he sent me a picture of it. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. It's like, no, it's not your fault. I just thought I'd show you in case you wanted to. I don't even know what to do in a situation like that. Call up FedEx and say, hey, you owe me money for damaging this thing. Not going to repeat that. That's bait. Ooh. Yeah, I think today is going to be a shower day, so I can wash the vinegar off me. I think maybe I got some on my hands. That's what's going on too. That's pretty cool. Some neat pieces there. I don't know if you can see the interesting construction going on, but got some of those 2-length bars with the shafts on them in there. Pretty good construction. 4 of those. These. I need to get on my ordering for my Horizon parts. I took apart a couple sets, and I was kind of hoping to get a couple more pieces out of that. And so I didn't have to order as many. But no joy. So I might try 1 or 2 more sets, but at some point I really have to just buckle down and buy it. Or buy those pieces. All right, Lego Bear, take care. Hope to see you around. Welcome back out of your hibernation. We'll catch you around. If you go to the San Antonio group at all, say hi to the people in the San Antonio group for me. So I had to look up what a kingfisher bird was. I've heard the name, and I think I've probably seen it once or twice on like a Richard Attenborough joint at some point, but honestly didn't know what they, other than the Lego set, what they looked like. Apparently, they are very common to rivers and ponds and stuff in Africa. That's their primary location, but they can also be found in areas of Europe and India. I think they said South America too, so kind of widely, known. Um, I think a derivation of this bird is the kookaburra. I wish Mayo was still on here. Could confirm. And here's your really rad Porsche pieces going into place. It's a very snug fit. Or not. Okay, man. Come on. It's a really good bird. Coloring. This like dark orange. You can already see the red-breastedness of it, if you will, with the other colors there coming together. And that's about it, the size of it. It's going to be how big it is. It's got kind of fat, short wings, so. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. Oh, here's a piece I haven't seen before. Pretty exciting about that. It's a pneumatic T-square in tan. I didn't know those existed. And then these clip bar holders in tan. That's cool. Got a lot of these already. Everybody's got a nougat posing stand, so. But so these are going to be ×2. ×2, are they? What else is going on? So y'all are aware of the Pick-a-Brick wall or online Pick-a-Brick ordering issue, right? They are putting that on hold, or it's still not. What's the word I'm looking for? There's still some delays while they're figuring out some of their shipping issues. I know we've got a couple people in our group who are like, I ordered stuff back in September. I still don't have it, which seems really crappy, but whatever. They've also paused the AFOL Day program for those in a lug for the first half of this year, so we'll see what happens in September. Hopefully they won't be too long with it, because I know a lot of people like it. But I also know that we've got some people in our group who are like, nope, I don't even do that anymore. It's too far to drive for too little return on investment, really is what it comes down to. That is backwards. It takes more gas for them to drive down to participate than it does for them to save on basically what amounts to like tax for the AFOL Day. So they're like, nope. I save by buying on Amazon. They barely go to the store anymore. There's your little feats. So I'm close to maybe starting to buy less from the store and more from deals where I can find them. If only, you want to save a little bit, and I don't know that the points are adding up as fast or as much as I'd like. And if they're, withholding AFOL day for whatever reason, kind of no reason to go. I almost never am able to hit a payday or a bonus or something when they're doing like double points. Because I'll hit the first of the month when a new set comes out, and then like 2 weeks later they'll be like, double points day. And I'm like, what happened to doing this near like new release day? That'd be rad. But no, can't do that. So I don't know. I ordered some parts for my March base. I guess you can use Mars base right when they reopened from the holidays. I hope they get it. Oh, yeah. Lasso ordered parts in September and he still hasn't gotten them yet. I think he's thinking that it was because there was a mix of ooh, look at this. I know these were in orange, trans orange. I haven't seen them in trans clear. That's pretty rad. He has a mix of bestseller and standard. And he thinks while they were just trying to make it all one order, it just kept getting shuffled around, and then the holidays hit. And then they had their warehouse issues. And so now he's kind of like stuck. Piece is hard to find. These are newish too, these pedals. In sand green pedals. Pretty rad. There it is. There's that one piece and then a 1x3 tile. Man, if I didn't think I'd get dinged by YouTube, I would totally listen to the Letterkenny season 1 through 12 soundtrack. It's got some good music on it. I'm not a hip hop fan. I'm not a rap fan generally, but there's some songs on there I'm like, yeah, I could jam to this. I could groove to this. I take it back. Mars. Make an order for the Mars base. Might have to go to Bricklink. If y'all need, like, I may have extra stuff. So if you need, Frankie, if you still want this one set, I've got it. I'll sell it to you for cheap. Or if you guys need parts, I've got parts and I don't know that I'm going to use all of them, but we can figure that out. Or you just order your own. That's fine. Whatever you're doing. Want to be helpful. I say I'm not a huge rap fan, but I've been watching the crap out of Ren videos. And I don't know why. There's something about his weird little Britishness that makes me just sit there and watch every video that he puts out. And he's very good. He's very talented. So yeah. But yeah, the soundtrack for Letterkenny is really good. If you can look it up, it's on Spotify. Just do Letterkenny season 1 through 12 playlist. It's a trip. It's like all over the map. And I think they curated it for the show pretty well to be, I think, mostly Canadian artists, because they're very big on making sure that a lot of Canadian people got work on this show. I think Jared Kiso and then the director kind of were burnt out on Hollywood and trying to get into that business. So they're like, nope, we're going to do it all in-house in Canada. And trying to support everybody. But yeah, if you haven't seen Ren or haven't heard any of his stuff, I would look him up too. Some good stuff. Let's see what other Lego thing is going on. So yeah, medieval thing. I think we talked about the R2D2 with the um, Darth Malik. That may be the. I don't think it's going to be the, or maybe it is the 25th anniversary set. I think they're just going to be coming out soon. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get at least that, and then the ships. I don't know about the other things though. I saw that. I saw the thing about Elon wanting to buy Disney, and I'm like, oh, really? Why can I not find? There's that one. There's these curved ones. Upside down curved ones, regular curved ones, small upside down. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw that and I threw up in my mouth a little bit. I'm like, oh god, that's the last thing we need. I don't know if I'm going to the sorting party, but I might try to go to one of them at least. So I will bring it. And I think I got them from Ryan for 60. So does that work for you? It's about 40 or 50 off, I think. The manufactured suggested retail price. And then I've got 1, 2, 3 that I opened, 4 that I had from the market. So she'll be that. I need to get, I need to start looking into, I have this pie in the sky idea for motors on, the Mars base so I can make it rotate. But I'm not sure if I'm biting off more than I can chew with that. Like, I don't think it would be that hard. All I want to do is make one thing rotate. Can't be that hard, right? I figure on top of the base, I'll have like a cage, and I'm gonna have it go way up as high as I can build it, given the pieces I've got. And at the top of that, so I'm gonna have to anchor it really good into the plate. On top of it, I'll have a cage built out that can store battery. I don't think I need a hub, but battery, sensor, or receiver, and motor. And just a regular linear motor. And then I'll have another box on top of that. Yeah, that's cool, Frankie. Okay, cool. Well, and that's the thing. A, I don't have the parts. B, I've never built anything like this before. So what I need to do is figure out A, how to downshift everything, because the motors spin at X amount. And I don't want this thing whipping around murdering children at the convention. So I want it to go real slow, like a rotating restaurant. But in order to do that, you have one, you have your axle, then you have a big gear, right? I think. No, you have a little gear and then a big gear next to it that goes up to another little gear with another big gear. So you're constantly, or a slightly larger gear. So you're changing the ratio as you go up, and I think you can repeat it until it just goes really slow. But I think also that ends up draining the battery because I think it's working harder. If anybody has some information about that, they can share. If you're good with motors and stuff on it, let me know. I tried looking it up and I really wasn't finding like exactly what I was looking for, what I was needing, which felt kind of weird. Like, surely somebody's done this. I didn't look extraordinarily hard, but I looked. Yeah, so that's the plan. If I can figure that out. Oh, I meant to do that up here. Because I think that'd be cool. And then, so it would have these like cross pillars like this with domes on either side. And then maybe another one on top. I don't know yet. And then everything rotates, right? So it'll be tall and then it'll be moving on top of that. Because I'm not smart enough and I don't have the tools to do lighting. And I think we've got a couple of people doing some lighting, which will look really cool, but I don't have those kind of tools. So I thought I could at least buy the power, what is it, the power spark, power boost, power up. Kit that can make stuff move. Whatever is most convenient for you, my friend. I'll let you know if I'm going to be at the sorting party. I'm not sure yet. And like I said, if I can't make it, it was power functions and now it's something else because power functions stopped. And now it's called power something. Power up, power spark. But I'll figure it out. All right, times 2. This is where I'm going to make up some ground. I'll at least make it tall. We'll just say that. And I'll have 4 domes. So if it can't rotate, at least it'll be tall to fit the theme of the show. Powered up. Is that what it is? Thank you. And it's not cheap. Like, it's like $100 to get all those components. Just to be able to make it do that. So I'm kind of like, well, maybe I won't. Because I still have to buy parts for the Horizon stuff. Still have to build the Mars base like I want it. But I don't think I'm going to spend any more on parts for that. It's just going to be whatever I've got. These are cool in that color. I think they already existed in dark blue. I think I may even have some, but I'm not sure. Sand blue reverse slopes too. I am absolutely adoring all the colors that we're getting lately. It's been so nice to get like just so many colors. Problem is being able to get them all in when you need them. Sometimes you don't think that they exist either. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and then you get an app for it, and then you can remote control, turn it on, turn it off, that kind of thing. So I'd like to get that. I don't know what things I have that generally would need motorizing, but I think that for a show would be pretty cool. Like, I generally don't have stuff that needs to be motorized. Really neat wing so far. Have to do this again. That's gonna be the next bag. I wish I could like do this mirrored, like do this but exact opposite. Oh, I know. I made that claim. You heard me. What are you doing over there? Are you just being all sleepy? Both dogs are oddly in the front room here with me. It's generally not the area they want to be in. Oh, good. We're getting down to the last few pieces. I'm like, I've got a lot of pieces left here. I'm not really happy about how many are left. And this will go on this side. Haha. All right, that's what we got so far. And then there's going to be a little piece that goes in here. Nice color for that brick. I haven't seen one of these bricks in an age. I think the last one of those I saw was on a Slave 1. A bunch of these in either green or red. Nice way to close up that gap there. Pretty nice. All right, we might be able to make all 6 bags tonight. May have to run a little past 10 o'clock. I hope y'all don't mind. I'm not leaving one bag to do later. And here I thought I'd run out of time. Or I'd run out of stuff to build before the end of the hour. So the first task will be to, of course, figure out how to gear down a thing like that, and then just kind of build out from there. Yeah, I put these on my lug bulk list. I figured people could use these for stuff. And then once I've done that, figure out how big it needs to be, how much to encase it, and then I can figure out how to put that on top of my existing Mars base. And then I'll need to anchor the Mars base, because I apologize to everybody who ordered one of those things, but the clutch power of the stanchions, pylons, whatever they are, and the 16 by 16 plates is just gross. It is non-existent. All my Mars base does is fall over. So this kind of nonsense. There's almost no clutch here. Like if you just wiggle it enough, it falls off. Up here is fine. Like this is okay, right? That's not too bad. But this, because these are different studs than normal. Inside these not similar. So anyway, what I'll probably end up doing is you can put a pin through here, or an axle through there. Have to change up my mills plate to allow for some of these to be rooted into the mills plate. Especially if I'm going to make it a lot taller, it has to be able to has to be able to not only stay up, but also to be able to travel a little bit, so I can take it down, take it apart without having to like, well, I got to take the whole thing apart piece by piece. It has to come apart in kind of a section. But instead of working on that a whole lot, I'm gonna go play some video games, because you know that's how things get done, right? You get frustrated, you give up, you go play some video games. And no, I haven't gotten any new games yet. Still playing Diablo. Although apparently, I'm a sucker for still playing Diablo. Everybody I talk to, they're like, oh god, yeah, that game. Like, what? And I'm like, whatever, it's fine. But are you playing Baldur's Gate? I'm like, no. Yeah, agreed, Johnny. And I'm also at the point where, like, I've got a pretty good build on my character, and I'm basically just walking through. It's not even a challenge at this point. I'm just grinding. And I hate grinding, and I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm still playing every day. And I log in and go, okay, what little event or what world boss do I need to go fight so I can get no good gear or one piece of good gear out of, 2 hours of playing. Kind of not my thing, and I'm kind of looking forward to something new, something with a story. I don't think Baldur's Gate is it either. I'd like to go back and play the Ghost of whatever it is, the samurai game. That game's still like $70, man. It's like 7 years old. Like, how is this game? Because it's a popular game. Because it's really good. There's another game I want to play that I think is a little cheaper. It's a psychological horror kind of game. You're a Norse. The main character is this Norse lady, and she's like going through hell or something. And that's an older game too. I don't want to play that, so I'm not gonna look that up. Ghost of Tsushima, yeah, something like that. I've just heard that's a really, really excellent game, especially if you liked Red Dead Redemption or Horizon Zero Dawn or any of those kind of open world games. What was the other one? Death Stranding. Those types of things. I've seen some Let's Plays on it. You have to... Does that say 2? Can't tell what that says. You have to pay attention to your technique a lot. That's fine. I may enjoy that. I tried... Although I may also not like it. There's a segment of Horizon Zero Dawn that focuses on your fighting techniques, but it is not well. It's my least favorite part of the game. Because you have to hit the buttons just right to execute it, and you have to chain them together to get it to execute the move that you want. But it's like the animation never times well with the button press, and so you're kind of guessing because they never really tell you exactly how to do it. So it gets really frustrating because if you don't chain all 4 of these together, you run out of time, and then you have to start the whole like fight this one guy in a practice pit thing over again. I'm like, I do not want to spend all day doing this. Like, this is not what I want to do with my time. I don't like the quick time events either, where it's like you're like Spider-Man does that a lot, where you're fighting and you're fighting and you're fighting, and suddenly it's a cutscene and you have to hit square real quick. And I'm like, okay, well, that's, you know, you're just paying attention to what you're doing, right? If you look away and you miss it, that's not a skill, that's an attention span. It doesn't take much to hit one of 4 buttons quickly. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either. Anything that feels like you're on rails a bit, like this is the story we're gonna tell, and you're part of it, but you're kind of just you're going. There's no, you can't go off on your own. It's like you're going this way, and if you're chained into a lot of fight sequences that all you're doing is those, then it makes it even feel less like you have any control over how the game goes, right? I'm very picky when it comes to games. I just want X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. That's all I want. And I thought we were going to get it with Squadrons, but Squadrons was good for like about a week, maybe 2. And then it kind of got repetitive and a little boring, which was sad because like Battlefront didn't get boring at all. I was still playing Battlefront up until like a couple months ago. Thought about logging in again, seeing if it was still going. The lobbies were getting pretty anemic, but I think the high point of Squadrons was the fact that you could play in kind of the VR rig, and that was fine. But after a while, you can't play with that thing squeezing your head anymore, and it was just because the only headphones I had that worked were these big can headphones. So I had that plus the thing. I was like completely encased. Well, an X-Wing TIE Fighter was all about the missions, right? It was just mission after mission after mission, and they were all kind of different. They were all a little bit different, right? It was an escort mission, or it was a bombing run, or it was you had to go, it was a recon mission where you had to go scan stuff, or it was an all-out dogfight, or you were part of one group of, fighters and bombers that were trying to take down a Star Destroyer, and it was several waves of you doing stuff, All right, now we're going to send in these guys. Now we're going to send in these guys. And even later versions like X-Wing Alliance, where you're part of that smuggling family, that was still really cool, It did, yeah. It very much did. And they weren't like super quick or overpowering or anything. You could literally, and I did this once, you could literally take down a Star Destroyer with an A-Wing. And I did that. It wasn't fun, but I did it to prove a point. And that point was that it could be done. It took forever. You gotta race in, you gotta shoot at different components, and then you gotta fly away in a spiral so you don't get shot. And you do that like 300 times. But yeah, I enjoyed the crap out of that game. This is ×2, so I gotta do this again. But that was a kind of a magic in the can game. Yeah. Charge shields all the way up front, so in case you get shot, shoot as much as you can on the 2 shield balls, the 2 shield generators, engines and engines to full, shields to recharge, and all the way aft, and then just burn it away. And you could kind of like figure out a dead zone where the turbo lasers wouldn't get you. But so there was moments of that in Squadrons. There was moments. And I think early on when you're just doing the missions, I think that's when I had my most fun. As soon as we got into the dog fighting with other people, I was kind of like, oh, because it's the same stuff over and over again. You know, you rush into the middle, you get shot a lot. You got to hope that you don't have somebody with a Hoda rig or something. It's Hoda, right? That's like really, really skilled at whatever they're doing and, you know, wipe you out. But and if you can't talk to people, you're just kind of guessing what they're doing, and I don't know. I don't know how far up these need to go. I think that far. Okay. Yeah, that was my one of all-time favorite games. I'll put that up there with like Metroid, Okami, Horizon Zero Dawn. Trying to think of some other like seminal games for me, because some of the games I played were great games, but they were like super old. Like Yar's Revenge is one of my favorite games, but it was for the Atari 2600. It was super simple, almost nothing to it. Descent was good. Not us. We used TeamSpeak for that. We did it in Star Siege. Yeah. And I did that once with a friend. We played together, but it was just the two of us. It was going to be 3, but his other friend was like having all kinds of tech problems and couldn't join. So it was just the two of us. And so the two of us were doing stuff together, but then there was like, I think there's 5 people per squad. 5 or 4. So we, you know, you can only control the 2 of you, really. But it was fine. I mean, I got really excited for it, and at first I was like, Beth, it's in virtual reality, and my head's all moving around, and I was having fun with it for, like a week, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm bored. But what are you going to do? Stop playing, that's what I did. So I got into Quake a little. Half-Life and Half-Life 2. Oh, those are mine. StarCraft. I lost many a day on StarCraft, and that we did online multiplayer. We actually had our own servers going for that, and for Quake. We'd have LAN parties for Quake. Have to drag our PCs over there to some dude's house. Yep. Yeah, it's funny because I've forgotten about all that BattleNet stuff, and then I started doing Diablo, and it's like logging into BattleNet. I'm like, what? No, don't make me do that. I don't want to be back there again. Okay. So, I think we're doing pretty well. We only got the head left. 6 bags in and out in 2 hours. That's not too shabby. It's no world record pace, but... And also, there's very few pieces in each bag. It's not like bag 6 has 5 bags in it. What's up, James? All right, so we got most of it done. Gonna do the head now, and then we're done. You pick out your parts yet, James? You know what you're gonna get for lug bulk? I think we were talking. Missy's got one picked out. I've got my 5, but I might change one of them because I'm not quite sure that it'd be good. And it can get downvoted. I'll leave it in there. Definitely off-world record pace. Yeah, the instructions also on these oranges, because these are the oranges that are in this set, right? The nougat, the orange, and the dark orange. This doesn't even look like orange either. This is like a red orange. And it looks like dark orange in the instructions. They all blend together. And we've got a light orange on top of it. You have your choices in? Cool. I'm going to go look at y'all's. That's what I've been doing all day, is waiting for people to put theirs in so I can go get ideas. Because sometimes I just don't want to go scrolling through 9,000 or 11,000 pieces. Knowing that it's like, okay, I could search for cow, or I could search for torso, or I could search for, roof tile, or whatever. But sometimes it's like, I don't really know what I want. But then I see someone else's pick, and I'm like, oh, that reminds me. Yeah, I think this is a new red orange, because there's your orange with the brick separator. And I don't know if you can tell the difference. Yeah, you can totally tell the difference. So there's a new color. A lot of new pieces in this. A lot of new colors and such. Very pleased with it. This would make a pretty good, if you could find it at a discount, 20-30 bucks. This would probably make a really good draft. I'm thinking about all the opal tiles. There's a lot of dark blue, a lot of this dark orange. Excuse me. Yeah, some good pieces overall. Medieval Town Square looks like it's got some unique colors. That's pretty cool. I haven't really looked at it a whole lot because I was trying to avoid it. Trying to be a good non-leak looker and all. It's interesting. I only have a couple of these, and they're definitely not in that color. But like I said, once it hit retail today, it's like, well, I guess I can go check it out. But man, everybody and their brother had it on their channel today. Well, somebody posted it. It was out like I think it got leaked like a day or two early, which is still kind of a leak. But yeah, once it's out, because it was on somebody posted on the land last week sometime. And then Johnny had posted something on Instagram about Lego going, hey, check out this new thing. And it's like, you guys really need to be more on top of that. Not even just keeping the leak secret, but also like once it breaks, just lean into it, man. Just act like that was business as usual. Did you? I've slept since then, James. I'm sorry. Wow. That's interesting. That must have something clipped underneath it. I love these pieces. I don't think they get used enough, but they're like rubbery. So that's probably why. And they probably were going with it, Johnny. I agree. But They probably Lego is an enormous company, and I'm sure it took them that long just to come up with the wording and the make sure to stay on brand and all that stuff. Remember the goat? Had to go look up on the message. Almost the exact same set. That's funny. I don't remember that at all, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means that I've got a terrible memory. Oh god, I might so stuffy right now. So I have a question, and you guys may be able to answer this, James especially, because I know James is a little more into the lore of stuff. So here's this build thing again. There's those open studded curved plates, right? And then earlier on, we had a build technique like this where it has these 1x2 bars, and then they go in there like that. So that's pretty cool. What is it about the goat? Oh wait, that's supposed to go the other way. What? Why is everybody so want the goat so bad? Is it because it was originally not? Because it was originally hard to get, or what? I just don't know the fascination with the goat. And I put this in backwards. And it's going to be impossible to get off here. That bird had hidden teeth. That log had a child. Oh my god. Of course, it's after my hands have been doing this all night and they're all sweaty. Wow. This is okay, so that's a really good way to not be able to get any pieces off here. Let's start this all over, I guess. We covet. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, I really botched this one up. He's not that great. I mean, he's no Gretzky. Oh, okay. So, to go back through this and see what I did wrong here. This guy was up here. This guy was nope. That guy wasn't there at all. Apologies. I did this really wrong. I was so enamored with the build technique that I didn't realize that it was going in upside down. So I think that's it. Yeah, okay. And then should be it. Yup. Okay. See, I missed the flip this over sign. Very important sign, and I missed it. Well, I mean, so we had goat stuff on our convention swag last year. Year before that. We had tote bags with goats on them. And I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, what? Why? Like, are we doing a farm theme or something? And of course, now, so we've been kind of kicking around the idea of doing our next project support being farmland, right? Big crops. We thought the idea would, just talking to a few people, thought the idea would be cool for 16 by 16 plates of crops. And then you could that's really easy to get and make, right? That way people can also, if they want to participate, they can get their own pieces and stuff like that. So the problem is there aren't many animals in lug bulk this year, which means there aren't going to be many animals in project support. Definitely not goats. Rather we had a shirt. Yeah, if given the opportunity to have a shirt or a tote bag, I'm like, a shirt, please. How often am I using a tote bag? All right, so it's almost 10 o'clock. If people got to bail, I get it. I had to go back and redo some of these. I apologize, but we're almost done. It's going to be a few more minutes. Yeah, always going to pick a shirt, but I think we were outvoted. I think a farm maybe isn't great for us. We would need tons of fields, not a bunch of villages with small vegetable gardens. Well, and that's kind of what I was thinking is if we can't get... There also isn't a whole lot of... flip back over. Oh, I see. Okay. There isn't a whole lot of food stuff in lug bulk this time either, which means when it comes around to... they're making this in this weird angle. Ordering project support, there's not going to be a lot of... So we'd have to make up a lot of things like, all right, well, this is corn. You know, it's not really corn, but it looks like it could be corn. So still kicking around the idea. I like it because we are still at a point with our lug that we can't... I don't think our lug is going to be one where we sink money into building something that's on permanent display or semi-permanent display, that people can't see like a return on investment. They don't see after 2 years you get all these bricks back and they know exactly what bricks they're getting back versus stuff I've seen on the land where it's like a small village, but each of the houses is pretty big, right? So it's not like little bitty ranches and stuff like that. It's like really, really big things. And I guess when it's done being displayed, you just kind of get what you get, right? You just break it up into some smaller groups of pieces, and you know, not everybody gets the same thing. So I don't know. Are there a bunch of space torsos this year? I saw one with the helmet, and I saw one with the astronaut that had like the tracers behind him, but I didn't see any specifically like classic space torsos. And I thought I'd gone through a lot of torsos looking for him, but I may have missed it. This is a weird build, man. This is snot-tastic for sure. Oh, city space. So like the orange jumpers and the blue jumpers and those kinds of things. Yeah. the environmental suits. I think if we did space again, people might be a little burned out. But if we did, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something equally modular. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to get, since Lego did, and this is basing it off one thing, but I thought if it reflected more in lug bulk, then we could do it, but it really hasn't. They had the one John Deere thing, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're leaning a little bit into farming stuff. That'd be cool. And that's kind of what I was, where I was going with the idea of doing that. But all right, so there's the head, and it's got little beady eyes. It's kind of leaning, so it's kind of got a permanent. It's got a bit of stuff over here because it's permanently looking this way. So you can turn its head a little bit, but on the other side you can see it doesn't have all that. And then inside here, inside the neck, there's a white piece that kind of keeps it from going all that much in any direction. So double down on castle walls, get parts to build little buildings. In old days, buildings weren't painted all the same drab color from the local mud, so just buy a bunch. I mean, that would be kind of cool. So like we could still use the castle walls, and maybe the following year would be like Castle Village, right? With the medieval stuff coming out, the medieval thing. We could say now we're going to build a castle village to go inside the walls. So instead of like just an open table, we have like a solid kind of thing with maybe 2 tables deep where we can put village walls inside it. That's an idea too. Times 2. I just think doing like farming, just it seems pretty real world. I personally like the idea. It's not something I'd normally build. And that's why I kind of like it, because it's not something I'd normally build. I think it'd be kind of fun. But since no one else is really saying anything, you and I have had the most conversation about it so far. You and me and Josh. Josh and I have talked about it a little bit. Lasso and I talked about it a little bit. But, all right, it's time for cattails, and then we all go home. But there's other things we could do. We could do like amusement parks. We could do, making me put this all the way in here. I'm trying to think of things that are kind of modular, but unique enough to where people could do their own thing. Which is why I thought it'd be fun to do the farming thing, because you could repeat a lot of this stuff depending on what you get. And then there's always the one farmhouse or barn or something. So I don't know. We can talk more about it. Yellow skin versus fleshies. That's the shirts and skins of the Lego world, right? Yellow skins versus fleshies. Also, this part in brown. A water thing would be good too. There's not a lot of water. We haven't done a whole lot of water things. Maybe cattails. Like a regatta. We could do a regatta. Ooh, I'm missing. Okay, no, I'm not. That is an extra piece for sure. That is an extra piece. That is an extra piece. Some of these I get a little concerned at the end. It's like, is that an extra? Where everybody gets the same boat base model, but then they have to like decorate it themselves. Parade, I don't know. Oh, that's the clip in its mouth. That's what that's for. So these are all extra, and this is good. He's got a fish, because that's what kingfishers do, is they catch fish. All right, done and done. So, yeah, Venice. Ooh, nice. These are all great ideas. So I think on our next meeting we should definitely talk about that, because February, March, April meeting will be, I think, the starting point will be like April 30. It's either April 31st or April 1st. I think it's April 31st through July 31st is our ordering window. So let's bring it up at the next meeting and talk about it, and then we'll put out an email and encourage people to communicate with each other, which seems to be a big thing lately. So here's your bird. You can see the scale of it. I have small hands, so let's put up a phone and a tumbler for scale. This is how big your bird is. Okay. It's a good water feature. Honestly, it's a little jarring having the trans light blue and then the translucent, not transparent, opal color here. It's a good piece. It's just a little different blue, and it looks a little weird to me anyway. Really good piece usage for the curved, or for the scalloped roof tiles in trans clear right there. It's cute little bitty feet. Its little bitty feet are kind of cute. I like it. Its little tail pieces in the back are cute. This bird is a real kind of micro bird on its own. It's really kind of it's mostly chest. Like if you've seen this bird, it's mostly chest and kind of this weird long head with that big long beak for getting little fish out of the water. The wing techniques were very good. Maybe I would have liked to see some tiles on the back there. Some of these maybe along the back here instead of the studs, or maybe like some cheese slopes to give it a little kind of fuzziness around the neck. Some good plant features right there. Then the cattails are kind of cute. It's pretty stable. It wiggles a little bit, but I don't think that's going anywhere. It's got a pretty solid Technic frame in the middle of it, holding it onto the stand. I will say that I've noticed that the stand, these things pop off pretty easily. So be careful when you're moving this around. These slopes are only held on by these two studs right there, so they may come off in your hands while you're moving this. Just be careful of that. Yeah, so... Uh-oh, where'd that go? So pretty good set. I think this is $59. I think it's $59. And I think it's worth it. I think it... the little weird beady eyes, the microphones, is kind of cool. Instead of like the tiles that with the eye shine on them that they usually do. So I like that a lot. It's very bird-like. What's up, Cliff? Just in time. So yeah, it's pretty good. I would totally get it. It goes, if you haven't got the birds yet, it will go well with the birds. The only thing about these birds that this doesn't have is it's got a nameplate. So I would maybe have liked to see if you want to put this together with one of these birds, it would have been nice to have a nameplate. So whereas this was original ideas, Cuso ideas, this is now icons, which is kind of weird because ideas already did birds. So I would have liked this maybe to have been an ideas line versus an icons line. I don't know. And get the little nameplate with it to tell us what kind of bird it is. Anyway, you could probably do that on your own. You know, these are tiles, so you'd have to get one with a sticker. But make up the name for the bird, or get the taxonomically correct name for the bird, and probably just, you know, put the little plate right here, and you get yourself a couple of these tiles in return. So, all right, well, that's it for now. Glad we got this all done tonight. That frees up Sunday to start doing some other stuff. I don't have any new sets after today, so it'll be probably Going back to building more Mars base. Venice Steampunk City. There it is. Something to compete with that giant Ninjago city we saw. Maybe this time we figure out how to include lights and motors. Anyway, Sunday might be a Q2 stadium thing. It might be working on Mars base. It might be working on a mock for the meeting. I'm not really sure yet. So we'll have to see kind of what happens Saturday afternoon to make me want to do something Sunday, what it will be. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Cliff, James, Missy, Johnny. I know Frankie was in here earlier. Greg and Lego Bear. And I think that was it. Mayo earlier on. So thanks for hanging out. And you guys have a good rest of your week and a good weekend coming up. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.